All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into prompt engineering, which, I kind of think of it as the art of the ask. And we're going to be pulling some really great ideas from Merzad Tabatapian's book, Prompt Engineering Using ChatGPT. Our goal here is pretty simple. How do we stop having those kind of useless conversations with AI and actually start getting the amazing results we know are possible?
I mean, you've totally been there, right? You've got this brilliant idea. You go to an AI for some help, and what you get back is, well, it's generic, it's unhelpful, or sometimes it's just flat out wrong. It is so frustrating because you know the power is in there somewhere, you just can't seem to get to it. But here's a thought. What if the problem isn't really the AI? What if it's us? What if it's all about how we're asking?
Okay, so here's a really powerful way to frame this whole thing. Think of it like this. You are the pilot. The AI, that's your super high-tech aircraft. And the prompt? Well, that's your entire control system. A vague command, and you're heading for a nosedive. But a really precise, well-constructed prompt, that lets you steer that aircraft exactly where you want it to go. And just like that, you realize the power is, and always was, right in your hands.
So how do we become these amazing ace pilots? Well, it all starts with the fundamentals, right? A really great prompt has a specific anatomy. And once you get a handle on these basic building blocks, believe me, you're going to be on your way to getting way, way better results, consistently.
Really, the core of a good prompt boils down to just a few key things. First up is clarity and specificity. You have to be super clear. Ambiguity is basically your worst enemy here. Next, you've got to give it context. The AI isn't a mind reader, It needs the background info to do its job. And finally, and this is a big one, you have to aim for neutrality. If you go in with a biased or leading question, guess what? You're going to get a biased and probably much less useful answer back.
Just look at the difference here. I mean, it's night and day. Tell me about engineering. That is like hopping into the cockpit and telling your pilot to, just fly somewhere. You could end up literally anywhere. But asking for an overview of the mechanical engineering discipline, now that is giving the AI a clear destination. And because of that, it can give you something structured, something concise, and something you can actually use.
Okay, so principles are great, but how do we actually apply them every single time we sit down to write a prompt? Well, for that, you need a framework, a really practical, powerful tool that you can use over and over again.
And here it is. It's called the RGC framework. That's role, goal, and context. Seriously, think of this as your simple three-step recipe for success. First, you give the AI a role. Tell it who to be. Is it a master chef, a brilliant data scientist, an ancient Roman historian? Next, you give it a goal. What exactly do you want to achieve? Be specific. And finally, you give it context. What's the background story? Are there any constraints it needs to know about to get the job done right?
Okay, let's see this RGC thing in action. Let's break this prompt down. The role? Customer support agent? Super clear. The goal? Provide troubleshooting for connectivity issues. Again, straight to the point. And the context? A user experiencing frequent disconnections using a Wi-Fi router. See how specific that is? There is zero ambiguity there. The AI knows exactly what its job is, what the objective is, and the specific situation it needs to tackle.
All right, so once you've really mastered crafting the prompt itself, you can get even more control. This is where we go from just having a flight plan to actually getting our hands on the dials and switches in the cockpit. This is what gives you that expert-level control over the AI's performance.
So if you're using an AI through a specific tool or an API, you'll often see these advanced settings. Think of temperature as your creativity dial. You crank it way up if you want to do some wild brainstorming or write a surrealist poem. But you turn it way, way down when you just need a straightforward, factual summary of a report. Then there's Top P. This one's all about relevance. It basically forces the AI to stick to the most logical and likely words, so it doesn't just go off on some bizarre tangent when you need it to stay focused. And max tokens, well, that's just your length control. Super useful when you need a short headline or a tweet, not a 10-page essay. Mastering these three dials, it gives you a whole new level of command.
Look, mastering all these tools, it gives us incredible power. There's no doubt about it. But all that power, it comes with a pretty huge responsibility. Being a great AI pilot isn't just about getting to your destination. It's about flying safely, and it's about flying ethically.
It's the classic question, isn't it? With great power comes what?
I mean, when we can steer these incredibly powerful models to generate almost anything, what are our obligations? What are the rules of the sky that we all need to follow?
You can think of this as a kind of pre-flight checklist for ethical prompting. As the pilots, it is absolutely on us to protect privacy and handle people's data responsibly.
We have to be transparent about what the AI can and can't do. We are accountable for trying to prevent harmful outputs. And this is so important, we have to build our prompts with inclusivity in mind and actively work on bias mitigation, doing everything we can to make sure the results are fair and equitable for everyone.
So there you have it. You have the controls, you get the foundations, you have the RGC framework in your toolkit, and you know the ethical rules of the sky. The art of the ask is officially in your hands now. So the only question left is, where are you going to fly? What problems are you going to solve? What incredible ideas will you generate? What are you going to create? The journey is yours to command.